So the next operator on which we are going to concentrate is your not operator. Okay. So for a fundamental academic student who is coming from the basic education, you already know that not is an operator which is going to act as a negation to any kind of condition whatever you are having. Now finally, what exactly is where clause doing to the select statement? What is exactly the job done by the where clause upon the select statement? No, I gave you in one of my class. Exact statement what I told you. No. You should not forget the most technical things that are very important. It just supplies true or false, nothing more than that. Before I was coming into my and or operator, I was definitely showing you where capital apple is equal to small apple, and we were trying to execute that. So where 1 is equal to 2. So where clause is only doing the job of supplying the true and false state to that particular piece of the data that is being selected. So whenever you deal with your criteria of the where clause, if the condition is true, the data will come out. If the condition is false, the data will get suppressed. So that's what actually it's doing. It is telling the optimizer which records it has to send outside and which records it has to suppress. That's all. Now whenever certain conditions are executed, if the condition is true, we want that condition to be treated as false. I'm making my point very clear. There are certain kinds of cases where when the condition is technically true, we have to make the condition to look like false. Means if the condition is false, it should look like true. Means we want to just change the alternate state of the process. In such cases, we need the not operator. Now whenever you deal with the not operator, it is a unary operator. It just expects one operand upon the process and then it starts working. Now generally when you start working with your not operator, there are some technical things on which you have to concentrate. Not operator is not important for me. The technical constructs on which you have to concentrate is very important. Please keep your focus there. Suppose say like a particular question is asked like this. We are saying select star from, or I'll just take few columns to keep yourself inconvenience. E-name, comma, department number, comma, job, comma, sal, and we are saying from EMP. Now I'm just trying to say where job is equal to salesman. Now whenever I'm saying job is equal to salesman, I'm just searching exactly to that particular pattern that is matching with what? Salesman, and all the employees who are salesman came onto my output. Now suppose like I'm saying, get me the employees who are other than salesman. I'm very clearly saying that, get me the details of those employees who are other than salesman. So whenever we are saying that, get the details of the employees who are other than salesman, now we can just do this by definitely saying not job equal to. We can say not job equal to salesman. Now whenever I am saying not job equal to salesman, all the employees who are other than the salesman will be coming into the output. So this is how we can apply the negation operator. But here one question arises. The simple question what the interviewer will ask you is, when equal to can be just searching for the data that is exactly matching, then why can't you fundamentally use in the place of this not operator a not equal to that like this. This not equal to is also producing the same kind of output, I hope so. So one question that arises is, when equal to can have a negation naturally by not equal to operator, then why the negation operator called as not has been designed? So this is one generic question that technically may look very unwanted for us. But the point is, whenever you are trying to work with the process, if a normal ANSI operator can have its equivalent negation operator, then why we need this negation operator separately? That's the first question. Second, here whenever I'm working on how many scans? One scan with 14 records. And whenever I'm working with this, I'm working with how many scans? One scan with 14 records. Now whenever I'm working with this, how many scans I'm having? 2. One scan is for the sake of what? Equal to operator. and then on that equal to operator, the negation has to work once again. Means we are just wasting the time with the not operator. So even though you are very perfect that for anything that is true by nature, its false can be generated using not operator. One of the questions that arises is, for an operator like equal to, if a negation can be directly applied by not equal to, then what is the essentiality of the not operator? Now when these questions are coming, you should be in a position to answer, not that what is a not operator. So I have few things what you have to answer me now, okay? Now the way you answer, according to that I will think what I should discuss with you. Now suppose like I am saying, job is, sorry, I just want to go with another column, there is nothing with salary, let us say. Now I am saying salary is greater than, I am going with 1600. Okay, I am saying that I want to see the details of all the employees, the salaries are what? Greater than 1600. Now, definitely I am getting the details of all the employees, the salaries are greater than 1600. Now the question is, I want to see the details of all the employees who are having their salaries other than greater than 1600. Catch my words carefully. I want to see the details of all the employees who are having their salaries other than greater than 1600. So what is the thing I should do now? Other than greater than 1600 means what I can keep here? Less than. So for every ANSI operator, we have its own, for every ANSI operator, we have its own negation operator without using not. But until unless we do not look into the logic, we will never catch this. For a fundamental student means first time when you are beginning, you will never feel that you are doing any blunder in this particular process. Definitely, for equal to, not equal to is absolutely negation. I am not denying that. But when you say that for greater than, negation is less than, it is wrong. So how you can say that? Watch carefully. I am saying equal to 1600 now. I have one employee whose salary is exactly equal to 1600. Are you catching me? Now watch. When I said greater than 1600, is that 1600 employee is included or not included? Not included. We said get the details of all the employees other than greater than 1600 salary. When we said other than greater than 1600 salary, it's just not less than. It should include that 1600 employee also. But is it including here? No. So, whenever somebody is speaking on greater than and less than, what is negation? For greater than, the negation is, I should always go with the construct of less than or equal to. If I did not use greater than or equal to there, in less than I should remember and I have to use less than or equal to, then only I can say this is a perfect negation. The same way, if somebody is saying that it is less than or less than 1600, let us say, then the negation for this is, because you did not use equal to here, you should remember and say greater than or equal to and include 1600 on the other side. Means especially when you are dealing with ANSI operators, equal to, not equal to, they don't have any problem in negation. But when you are dealing with greater than and less than, on one side if you are using greater than, then definitely on the other side you have to use less than or equal to. You should not forget that. So, for every ANSI operator, immediately the other ANSI operator is not a negation. Be very clear about the equal to, not equal to can be negation. For greater than and less than, you cannot say greater than is negation to less and less is negation to greater. So you need to just understand these particular factors very clearly first of all. Therefore, whenever your interviewer is asking you, whenever you are just working with this, let us say, you just watch the beauty of the not operator now. Whenever you are working with the not operator, suppose like I said, salary greater than 1600. I got these details now. Now the question is, get the details of all the employees who are other than greater than 1600. Instead of changing that with less than or equal to, you just simply say not salary greater than 1600. It automatically includes that 1600 here. Not operator balances your operational criteria. Therefore, not operator is not difficult here. The way you apply is very important for your interviewer here. You tell them, if you are telling the definition of the not operator, I will not be excited. Why? Because not operator is not a new thing for you. Almost I think in your 6th or 7th class, when you are introduced with your fundamental mathematics, you could have already learned about your not. So we are not interested in the definition, we are interested in its implementation. That implementation state only every time you have to concentrate when you are sitting in front of interviewers. Not the subject on which you are technically good. At this age, if I say that I will teach you not operator, it's just joking with you. We are not interested in how to declare a not and what is a not. What is the situation where not has to be applied. Therefore, when you deal with some greater than and less than, you want the negation of that. Instead of going for something like greater than or equal to or less than or equal to, you can directly deal with what? Not as one of the declaration there. Because not operator always knows when to include the data, when to exclude the data. Suppose say like you're going with this particular construct by saying salary is less than 1600. Now did I use that particular equal to anywhere there? No. But you just watch, I'm using my equal to now. Means I'm saying less than or equal to 1600. 1600 is already included or not included? Included. Now you just watch. When I go and say not on this, automatically it excludes the 1600 on the other side. So, for every operator, you cannot just take mathematics and work, I'm telling you. Mathematics is there, but along with that, what your software's intelligence is. When you learn any software, it's formally developed. Formally developed means mathematically analyzed and developed. But only straightforward mathematics will not apply here. The logical state of the mathematics will also apply here. That logical state is what the software will follow, and that logical state only is something what you should understand here. So try to understand the construct. Now other things that are very interesting is watch. If suppose say like I'm working with some condition and I may need negation of that condition every time. Just catch my words. I'm working on some condition and I want negation of that condition anytime. So I'm saying ampersand of give state. That not is now placed with what? Substitution variable. Now once you're going with your substitution variable, it will ask you the state. You did not give the state. It is what? Less than or equal to 1600. It is asking you the state and you supply the particular state. It will be not of that less than or equal to 1600. So when you are having a negation operator, you can control the query with runtime inputs more easily. If suppose you are using pure ANSI operators, you have to always remember when you are working with ANSI operators, the total operator has to be changed. But here the total operator need not be changed. Only you change the state that is applied on the operator and automatically the criteria of its execution will change. Therefore, anytime you are working with the not operator, there is a rule of analysis that tells you. Therefore, for equal to not is important is not a rule. Where that not is important is very carefully, constructively to be analyzed. Second thing, if you don't understand proper conditions, you'll always get yourself into logical blunders. Now, I just want to catch the next 5 minutes very carefully now. The other reason why not operator is designed. Now, just watch carefully. We are saying select employee number, comma, e-name, department number, comma, sal, comma, job. Now, I'm just trying to say from EMP where department number is equal to 30. I'm only trying to see the employees of 30th department. How many are there? 6. My total employees in my organization are 14 and 6 are available in my 30. So in the remaining departments, 8 employees are there. This is simple calculation we need to have in our mind now. Okay. Now, in the same query, what I am doing is, I am saying job is equal to salesman. When I said job equal to salesman, watch carefully. We have salesman only in 30th department currently. We have salesman only in 30th department. 30th department is not only salesman. 30th department is a collection of different employees, out of which 4 are salesmen. Catch that point very carefully. Now the question that is coming is, get the details of all the employees other than department 30 salesman. The question is very simple. Get the details of all the employees who are other than department 30 salesman. Now, I am saying that where department number is equal to 30 and not job equal to salesman. Now, whenever I am saying this, we are expecting which data, can you tell me now? Other than department 30 salesman. Now, in my 30, I am having totally 6 employees. When how many are salesmen? 4. So, I should get how many employees now? 2. Now, that's where our logical mismatches will start. That's how your logical constructs in your brain can always be troubling you. Now, you expected 2 and you'll get that. Now, generally what happens? You'll just get convinced. You'll just convince that I'm perfectly true. But actually the way you are understanding that particular question or the situation is wrong. So it is very clear saying that get me the details of all the employees who are other than department 30 salesman. Department 30 salesman means remove the department 30 salesman. In 30 I have 2 employees plus the remaining 8 employees of the other departments also should come. I never said that remove those employees. I said other than department 30 only. Then why are removing the 10 and 20? When those 8 plus this 2, 10 records should come. Now generally we cannot work in real time with this count of calculation of number of records, because in a real time table how many records are there, how you will know? In classroom we can just sit and discuss these things. Now what happens in real time, especially for people keeping experience, what happens is, some scenario will be given by your client. You will analyze that entire scenario and you will write the query. Now once you write the query, then you will send your report to the production side. Production side people will reject your output saying that logically it doesn't fit to the business requirement. You are asking your client now, no sir, I gave the correct answer, why you are saying it's not logically fitting to the business requirement? The client also doesn't know logic. He says, no, the report we expected from you should give some other data, but is not giving that data, that's all. That is what he says. The client, what he simply says is, my expected data is not coming. Now how you know what he is expecting in the data? You ask the client, sir, can you tell me what is expected data? He says, sorry, when production data we cannot show you because it's very private and we cannot reveal that to the developers. Real business data he cannot show you. And at the same time he says, the data is not coming the way I am expecting. How you will correct your logic? So people, especially keeping experience, start thinking where the trouble starts. There were no client will give you directly his production side data and tells, I want the data exactly to this. Therefore, understanding the rule of the English statement is very important. So he is very simply saying that get me the details of all the employees who are other than department 30 salesman. Means remaining departments information should come, and plus only salesman of 30 should be rejected and he should get. The improper usage of not operator and operator can cause some logical trouble. Not only that, watch carefully. Currently we are having salesman only in which department? 30. Now I am recruiting salesmen now. Insert into EMP, employee number, comma, e-name, department number, comma, sal, comma, job. And then we are saying values 7935 His name is Mr. Suresh. Department is 20. His particular salary is 2000, and then he is a salesman. I'm recruiting a salesman into another departments now. The same way, we are having one more salesman, 6. His name is Mr. Rakesh. Is working for 10 and is a salesman. Now, if you are just going and calling only salesman now, we are having 6 salesmen, 4 in 30 and 1 in 20 and 1 in 10. Now watch carefully, we are writing the same condition once again. Get the details of all the employees for other than 30th department salesman. Now when you are saying 30th department salesman, only 4 salesmen from 30 should be negated. But if you don't understand the logic, the salesmen from other departments are also negated. Sir, I can write where clause. After 3 days of classes, I don't want to say that you cannot write a where clause. The only thing what I am saying is, you leave me from the classman. When you're sitting in front of your client is giving you some situation. Understanding the situation, can you write the where clause? That confidence is what you should gain. So, how many select statements I am giving you and your understanding is not important. Even now it's not too late. The students are only concentrating on what examples this person will give us at the end of the day. We don't just concentrate on my examples. Why? Because to the topic I have to give the example. But the concepts what we are discussing is what you have to remember. So technically, try to understand this particular factor as quick as possible. Therefore, if you don't understand the rule of the logic, it can become difficult. If you are just say like a beginner, definitely you will never know the mistake what you are trying to do, because a normal student will be happy whether the output is coming or not. But the student may not be happy, am I getting the correct output by logical state what I am expecting or not. So people are happy with any time you write a query and the output is coming, think twice. You should be happy with the output, or you should be happy with the correct output that is expected by the logic. That's your criteria of attitude what you should develop now. Second thing, if you don't have patience, you'll stop practicing Oracle for 1 or 2 days. General tendency of a human being. You are trying something and you're not getting it. 2-3 days you'll stop practicing Oracle. Because you don't feel interested towards it. Because logically it's killing you. Now you may stop your Oracle for 1 or 2 days, but I'll be continuing on the process. You should not forget that. So when you leave the practice for today, tomorrow it will definitely put you into the load. Because every day I'm adding some concept into it now. So no way. The more you are feeling that you are uncomfortable with the logic, the more you should put your mind and start working till you catch the logic. The reason I said, certain times when your client is speaking with you, don't concentrate on the selection always. Certain times it's very important to understand. See, he's saying that get the details of all the employees for other than 30th department salesman. Is when you can get this data, which is absolutely, see, I'm writing one query now. When I'm writing this query, I'm saying department number equal to 30 and job equal to salesman. It gives me exactly what? 30th department salesman. Get the details of all the employees who are other than 30th department salesman. If this logic can make me select this data, if I can reject this data, then I think automatically I'll get the remaining records now. So negation was designed for overall negations sometimes. So negation is not for individual columns always. Negation is a very powerful concept when you are trying to work with combination of conditions applied with a negation. Therefore, you remove the bracket, the meaning changes. You're putting the bracket, the meaning is following. Therefore, how you can by heart when to keep the brackets and when not to keep the brackets? There's no way in the process to by heart. It's only with your patience you have to sit, check out different scenarios and situations, start writing your queries and looking into your query whether I got the correct output or not. If you're not doing that, you can always fire 100 select statements in half an hour, but what is the use? You don't catch the rule of the logic there. So, the more faster you can catch up with the rule, it's better. Now, I think the moment I started my weight loss, I was only telling you one thing. How many times you're working with the rule of the logic rather than blindly sitting and writing the queries. Therefore, not operator is not my main concentration. The way you have to implement the not operator and the circumstances under which you have to pick up the not operator. Yesterday I was telling you, when number of conditions are increasing, you don't need to really keep brackets if all the conditions are having the same operator. But one of the question arises, so can I have multiple different operators in the execution? You can definitely have. This is where your OR operator is there and this is where your AND operator is there. Now whenever you're dealing with a constraint, we should always understand, if you don't keep those brackets, Oracle will give highest priority to AND operator. And then it gives you lower priority for the sake of what? OR. Because you kept this particular brackets, what happens now? OR operator gets first priority, then AND operator gets the next priority. Therefore, where you want to keep the priorities, you have to plan, think and apply. So logically my outputs are not coming properly. Just sit and analyze. First your conditions are correct or not. Your conditions are correct. Then maybe your precedence is wrong. Readjust the precedence. Automatically the logic will fit many number of times. But how to adjust the particular precedence? There are no shortcuts here. If you don't put your mathematical rules here like bracket open, that kind of rules that are there, you cannot keep in logic. Logic has no rule, man. Logic has only situational integration. Understanding that logic is important, that's it. It's as simple as this, I'll tell you, man. A very critical crisis has come and you don't have time to go down this building. You have to jump definitely from this building now. You're already in the 3rd floor. Every human being knows that if we jump from the 3rd floor, we will die. Or maybe we will become handicapped. The person who can jump and who cannot break his legs and he will not die, he is a logically wonderful guy. So how this is possible? You should try once, that's all. You should try once. Sir, after trying, if I die, now you have given example to the world, don't jump like that. That's what you should understand. People ask me, sir, how I should develop logic. Show me any kind of method that can develop logic when I'm also searching for that. People have wrong notions that if I do mathematics, I'll get logic. If you do mathematics, you'll get mathematical logic, not software logic. So I've seen majority of students saying that, sir, I'm not a student with a technical background, therefore I don't have logic. If you don't have logic, how did you complete your academics now? You're a commerce graduate. Who says you don't know logic, man? You talk about your debit and credit with one engineering graduate, he'll run away. You try to make him understand what is debit and credit. You make one engineering graduate to sit and make him understand, and then you give a small problem to him, he'll run away. He says like, "Mera engineering board acha hai." So logic is not in what is it? Logic means the domain in which you are working. Can you understand that properly to the requirement of the client? So don't search for logic here and there. So you are sitting in this class and you're saying that you want to learn databases. So now your job is to understand the logic of the business, how it can be applied to database. For this, I've seen students asking me, so if I learn C language, will I get logic? These are all wrong things. Knowing one programming language is not bad, but I don't know one programming language, therefore I do not have logic is a very bad thought. See, if anybody says that because you don't know this language, you don't have logic, it's wrong. Believing is your problem. It's only a patience, it's only the set of patience. So when I have written some particular type of condition, my condition is giving me the output as expected by my client's business or not. Client is saying yes, it's correct. Then yes, you don't need to think about it. Client says no, this is not giving me the correct result. 1 or 2 records are coming more than what I'm expecting. Then concentrate on those 2 records. Why they are participating when the client doesn't want them? That is where the logic starts. The client, you have given million records to the client. Client is showing some 10 records and saying that all the remaining are correct. These 10 records should not come. I mean, those 10 records are falling into certain logic that is not expected. Now, where they are basically mismatching, take those 10 records, start debugging. Start analyzing. Without analysis, you expect that you can write and OR operator. Who says that you cannot write and OR operator? I'm not talking about that. Can you understand the correct priority with the correct situation? Therefore, there are certain things you have to always remember very carefully. The next 10 minutes is very important for us. You have been working with your queries quite a long amount of time now. Where clause is not new to you. It's almost, I think, 3 or 4 sessions in the process we have been dealing with the where clause. So I just want you to check through the construct very carefully with certain issues now. See, when we are working with numbers, generally we don't have any confusions. So what do you mean? Watch, I'm saying select employee number, comma, with e-name, comma, department number, job, comma, sal, comma, hire date. And I'm saying from EMP. Now I'm saying where department number is equal to 20. Nobody in the world will have any confusion on this. I'm going with department number not equal to 20. Definitely we don't have any fundamental confusions. And we are saying department number is greater than 20. Definitely we are through with it. And whenever we are working with department number is less than 20, we are definitely associated with this. On numbers, generally we do not have any confusions, whatever may be the operator you apply. Now, let us just go and check. I am saying job is equal to manager. Now, I don't think anybody in the world can say that there is a great deal of confusion behind this now. Strings are also very specifically wonderful when we are working. If I say not equal to manager, now definitely we know that other than managers will come. Now say like your interviewer is asking you one question, job greater than manager. This is the question is basically asking you. Now the result is some records, or the result is an error, or the result is no-row selected. It's no-row selected, or it says it's an error. Strings cannot be compared with greater than or less than operator, or it just gives you any kind of output. So generally you watch, it's already 3 days we have completed the normal ANSI operators, yes or no? It's just to tell you, this is something you can really experiment. But you just go back and watch, in last 3 days of your practice, whenever a string comes, your mind automatically gives equal to, not equal to, it never tests with greater than, less than. When a number comes, you will do that. When a number comes, you will test greater than, less than, equal to, not equal to, everything. But when string comes, your mind fixes directly to only equal to, not equal to. That is general nature. Why? In our total academics, we have been taught what? Tell me. In total academics, we have been trained for what? Numbers only can be compared with any kind of operator. Strings cannot be compared with other than, equal to, and not equal to. That's where the first level fundamental blunder in our academics will start. But when you come to the IT, it looks different. Actually, it's not different. It is essential, but in academics we have eliminated it. See, try to understand certain things that happen in our academic environments, okay? Just for curiosity, just participate in the process, okay? Let us recollect our kindergarten, okay? Just let us, even though we are PG, just for 2 seconds become KG now, okay? Please. A for apple. See, do we have only apple in the dictionary, man? We are almost all 80 students, I hope so. 80 different words we can give. That's the problem of our education. Means they made us think in that way only, not more than that. That's what the world is now thinking. Our education doesn't fit to the current standards. See, KG completed when, PG completed when. But that useless apple did not go from the brain. That's what's the problem. Your teacher said that to you. Your teacher's teacher said that to that teacher. That teacher's teacher said that teacher. And you will tell your child also, A for apple. Generations have passed. Apple became part of the gene. The child comes out of the world. The mother is asking on the first day the child is born. Mother is asking, A for apple. Child says, because gene tells that. How useless we have designed a system. The problem is that, if suppose say like I'll tell you, this is what I can tell. A mother is asking the child in the evening, A for. Suppose say like, the child said arrow, mother will beat the child. Immediately she'll beat. A for arrow, कौन बोला है? A for apple बोलो. The child says, arrow भी A से शुरू होता है. Apple ही बोलना है बस. Child is in confusion. Why I should say only apple when A starts with so many things? The other next child is there in next house now. There also the mother is sitting and she is asking her child, A for. The child says ankle. The mother beats immediately. Ankle nahi bolna hai, apple hi bolna hai. The whole world is apple only now. In 1970s, we designed our education system as per the industrial revolution of Europe. In those days, a machine was created and the machine has to work exactly by instruction. So human beings' education should be in such a way that what you tell, that only they should do. But today we are not there in that world. So the reason for not practicing this is such a big history, man, okay? You can practice this, but your mind says don't practice it. Because from our childhood we have never been taught that on the strings greater than less than can happen. We are fixed for that now. That is where I say be out of the box. When you come to software industry, you should be out of the box. And then you will do wonders. So these are not the things I just want to say that you can't do, but we didn't think, that's what I want to say. Now when our mind says that job is not expected, means strings should not be tested for other than equal to and not equal to. Suddenly one day, your luck favored, you started pressing some button greater than came there, you did not see and you pressed your forward slash. Then what is the result is the biggest confusion now. Now generally, there are students who say, sir, data will come. The student who says no row selected, we don't talk to him. The student who says error will come, we don't talk to him because we know that he has never tested it. So what we should speak with him? But there are students who say like, sir, output will come. The moment he says output will come, we'll get curious and we'll say, what output will come, can you tell me? Out of 10 students, 8 will say, sir, president will come. Then we'll ask him why president will come. So president is always greater than manager. How Oracle Corporation knows that? As a human being, you and I will know, man, president is greater than manager. How software knows that? What we are speaking is biological hierarchy. How software knows that logical hierarchy? So don't expect softwares to be more intelligent than you. Why? Because it is we who are developing them. So our intelligence cannot come directly into the software unless and then it becomes artificially intelligent implementation. That will definitely happen by 2050. Once that is happening, people like you can never have any jobs until you don't develop artificial intelligent applications to the world. The next generation IT is very critical. Understand this. The other day somebody was asking me, sir, if everything becomes robotic, then what jobs we will have? To develop robots, you should get a job, not to use the robots. To develop one robot is not that easy. Making one robot understand your brain and its stimulation is not that easy. So everybody should be thinking very cognitive by nature. The next generation jobs are not for end users. The next generation jobs are only for highly intellectual, artificially intelligent thinkers. For all engineers and postgraduates who are sitting in the class, are you just getting ready? Think about it. So, the next generation softwares are, they will just understand the rule of the domain and they can start working. That's what is the criteria. So, the moment you thought president may come or may not come, that's secondary issue. Definitely the students will say, the clerk should not come because he works under manager. Now, salesman will never come because he is also under the manager only. The only confusion I have is analyst will come or not. I don't know whether analyst is above the manager or under the manager. So don't think that your databases can understand the logic of your organizational hierarchy. It can only understand which hierarchy? Data hierarchy. It can understand only data hierarchy, not organizational hierarchy. With all that mind, when you are working, you will get confused when salesman will come. But a student who is thinking salesman is working under manager, your Oracle is saying that greater than manager. President is not confusion, but salesman is the biggest confusion. Now, see, as a human being, we will think, no doubt about it. If we don't understand the rule of logic, we will think, maybe according to Oracle Corporation, salesmen are greater than managers. The best way to satisfy ourselves now. Just understand what's happening. These operators are which operators I said? No, I gave you a very clear word there. ANSI operators, don't forget, okay? They're all ANSI operators. All the ANSI operators are designed in such a way that indirectly or directly, they will work for numerical value. These operators are internally working on numerical values. Now what is this data on this side? A string. Means internally it is number by what? ASCII. So your job is getting compared with ASCII values. The P ASCII value is greater than M. Therefore president came. The S ASCII value is greater than M. Therefore salesman came. They were all ANSI operators. They are directly or indirectly operating with ASCII integrations on strings, not on numbers. Numbers are considered as numbers, no worries. But when you come to strings, it is always operating with what? ASCII numbers. So this result is operating on the concept of ASCII. First understand this, which is very, very important. It may look very specifically silly for classrooms. It will keep you into nightmares if you don't remember these things in industrial projects. Now, I think we are having something called as dates also. Yes or no? Now, whenever I am working with my date, suppose like I said, where hire date is equal to 03-December-81. All the employees who got recruited exactly to that particular date. Now, on the same construct, I am saying, suppose say like less than, then immediately all the employees who got recruited before that hire date. Now, for us it may look like a string, but on the dates, once again there is one number and we call that number as Julian number. So, within your Oracle's architecture, characters are treated with what now? ASCII, and dates are treated with what? Julian numbers. So, what are Julian numbers? Just wait for a few more classes, we will see everything. But remember these fundamental compositions very carefully. These things are very important to note, I am telling you. Generally what happens, I will tell you, man, you practice all operators, man, you could have already practiced it, I am not denying that. But major times, you go and recollect and you check your work culture, what you have done. I'll promise you, 95% of the practice you could have done only with numbers. You go and check. And if I am not wrong, the remaining 5% of the practice you could have done with strings, that too with equal to, not equal to. And if I am very properly correct to my fundamental experience, one student out of 100 could be there who is trying with only dates. 99% of the students, they don't operate with dates as comparison. This is a fact. Why? Because our mind always fits to the mathematical numerical standards first when we come to comparisons. That is mathematics, man. But this is not mathematics. This is purely business orientation. When you are coming with business oriented factors, you have to work with every data. You have to work with every data and check the behavior. Start in a different style. That's what I am trying to say. I should not come and tell you these kind of things. By the time I come and do these things, you should feel like, okay, I have already done it. If you have already done it, it's good. You have not done it, check out now. Are you catching the point now? This is very important. Next step. Whenever you work with your data, you have something called as your commission. Now, whenever we are working with commission, all the employees do not have commissions. Do you agree with me? Yes. So, we have employees with commissions as null. Null is a keyword in your architecture or not? Yes or no? Null is a keyword in your architecture, no doubt about it. Now, technically, whenever you are working with the process, you just check out, I am saying where, I am just going with commission is equal to null. So, null is a keyword in Oracle or not? Yes. So, when we are going with this, you just watch, when you say commission is equal to null, it fails. So, try to understand one thing, ANSI operators cannot recognize nulls in comparison. ANSI operators cannot catch the nulls in comparison. Never ever forget this particular point. So, when you are dealing with the ANSI operators, you can't deal with nulls directly. So, what is the choice? We'll see. If this operator is not working, something else should work. Let us not worry about that. But first, let us understand that this operator cannot work. Out of 10 students, at least 6 students, when we ask them, please tell me how you will compare nulls, out of ignorance they will keep this. Don't do that, okay? So certain things you should always catch up in your mind. Now what is the way to compare nulls? Leave it on my shoulders, but understand that nulls cannot be compared directly. Now the next thing is precedences. Every operator has its own precedence or not? Yes. So first what happens? All comparison operators will work. That's the highest priority. Then negation operator will work. That's where in previous class we said rejection is better than selection. Oracle is following that. So whenever you write any logic, try to catch a logic which can be in a rejection state maximum number of times. Because not operator gets highest priority from the environment. Then AND operator. Then your OR operator. So your general priority is this. Therefore, when you write your queries, you do not understand the priority and you start writing the queries, you will never know how they are getting executed. So like here I am having 5 conditions, man. Did I keep any brackets here? No. Now I am just executing it. Now who says that this query is wrong? By syntax this query is correct. By logic is it correct? So a student maximum practices the syntax. When you go and write the similar things in your industry, the client will say, I did not expect this data, I want some other data. You ask him what is that data, he says that this data is not correct, man. I have explained the business process to you. Please recollect the business process and write the logic, that's all. Your client will never tell you keep the brackets here, keep the brackets there. Now watch carefully, when you are working in this, your AND operator gets highest priorities. So this AND operator and this AND operator happen first. Then your OR operators will go into the picture. Now whenever my client says that I did not got the data what I'm expecting, you just don't need to make great changes. Only look into your precedences and start working, and maybe you'll get satisfied with the data. So what I say is, don't question, sir, where exactly I should keep my precedence. So first I'm saying that this AND operator should get completed. Then I'm saying this OR operator should get completed. So this AND is given first priority and this OR is given the next priority. The result of this will go for what? Next priority with AND operator, and finally that OR operator is working. So where I should keep brackets, where I should not keep brackets, don't question these things now. Listen to the rule of the business and start working. Therefore, operators are not important because this is not the age to learn operators. You already know. The only thing is the concept with which the operators have to be applied. Therefore, here more of SQL is important or more of business understandability is more important than business understandability. The problem, I'll tell you, 95% students in this market, they concentrate on SQL. If you are that left 5% who are not concentrating only on SQL, I'll be happy. And I'll promise you, your first interview will be the last interview. When you sit in your project, you don't have any fear first of all. Out of every 10 people who get into the job, 8 people will have the fear. Can I come to my job tomorrow? You don't need to, man. You don't need to. When your logic is too good, conceptually you are wonderful, nobody in the world can dare to touch you at any point of time. Because we need your brain. We don't need anything else from you. So, that concept is something where you should spend your time. When you spend your time on concept, 1 hour, 2 hours will not be sufficient any time. So, know where you have to invest your time. That's what I want to tell you. So, we don't need a third class for only understanding where clause once again. Finally, you have been writing your where clause since almost on 3 days, man. Before I take you to the next level, what is the complication you are really feeling that industry can give you when you come into the concept of executing a where clause? Okay, we started with 1 condition, then we went with 2 conditions and maybe 5 conditions, that's okay. Now you can write 5 conditions or 10 conditions, I'm not bothered. When you can write 1 condition, who says you can't write the next condition? That's wrong if I say you can't write. That's ridiculous and definitely it's not correct. Because underestimating your ability is also wrong. No, you have good ability because you're already educated. But what I say is, are you psychologically ready first of all what industry demands from you? Just to make you work through the idea, okay? I don't have the data in Scott user, so I'm changing my user now. So in this user, I have one table called as employees. Okay? In this table, I'm having certain number of columns now. Just don't worry about those columns. It has some data. Around 107 employees are registered in this table. So we have some logical complication in this. We are working for it. Normally you are writing a where clause all these days, man. I don't know how much you are ready for your where clause to really write now. You just watch. You forget about what I am doing in the sum and the average. No? Okay, these things are not complete. So I don't want to. You should concentrate only on this where clause now. Where clause is known to you. Now our where clause is starting in which line? 4th line. Now you have been writing conditions, and is known to you, or is known to you, equal to, not equal to, everything is known to you. So I don't think I need to educate. But do you feel that you're ready for some requirements, what your industry can demand when you really want to write one where clause in real time? Watch. This is industryman. Okay, and what we have seen previously is Amirpet. Therefore, students are much happy when something goes so simple. Always remember one thing, okay? Where your industry actually starts, Amirpet closes. You don't think that Amirpet is industry now. No doubt, from Amirpet only people went into the industry. But only those people who have been practicing as per the industrial standard, they only went. Other people never went. Actually, you know one thing, I'll tell you the fact. 1995 this market started, Amirpet market has started. And up to 2005, 2006, we have driven the people to the industry, no doubt. Okay, means around 10 years of wonderful, qualitative, dedicated services given by institutions here. Have made no doubt much lot of the industry to have students who went from here only, no doubt. The 10 years of brand name what this market is having, using that now it's exploiting all the other people. Remember that. Okay. You came only with a suggestion of either your friend who is already getting the job or maybe somebody could have already said like Amirpet mein jao, job mil jayega. The 10 years of the sincere hard work that is done by majority of the people who were working consultants there and everything, the 10 years of brand name vibration only, this market is continuing today. But I feel very sorry to say, 80% of the quality that industry definitely demands is not given by this market today. In my starting class itself, I tell my students should be more intelligent in this market to know how to learn the technology, else you will get fooled, finish. So, in this market, you should be very careful because even a single example like this satisfies a student because you got the output. But with this condition, can I really work in my industry? Means I don't say no, but industry definitely can take and definitely can pull logic that is beyond your imagination with its own size. How many times when a problem is given to you, tell me how you will prepare a question for this select statement? That's what I'm saying. Leave the question answer attitude. Please develop problem solution attitude. Especially for the students who are sitting in my sessions, I only tell you that because I definitely know that 70% of the students who sit in my sessions are definitely putting experience into their ratio. There are very wonderful opportunities. Industry lacks even today 40% of the real professionals who are expected and who are needed. Just fill those gaps. The life is wonderful. Just leave all those rumors. Jobs are not there. Industry stuff. Nothing. When you can sell your brain, you have a wonderful position. Come only to sell your brain. For this, you cannot practice 1 or 2 hours and say the work is completed. From the classroom, if we can write a query that is around 120 lines of size, industry will definitely be never less than this. I can promise you. Industry will definitely be never less than this. Therefore, be very sure on the process when you are trying to operate on the constructs. Now, we have written the query with almost average 120 lines. Another student is coming and is given the same logic and imagine he is writing once again. Now, you watch the next case. We start the same 4th line, but we are working with only around average 25 lines. Now, this query when I execute, watch carefully, it will give you the same output. This also gets me the same output. The logic has no straightforward formula, first understand that. That's why in one of my previous class I told you, don't learn everything like length into breadth equal to area of rectangle. Don't put that kind of mindset. Your logic is unique. You don't follow my logic. You are unique by yourself. Your thought process is unique by yourself. Take the support of what I am giving. Put your own identity in catching the logic. That's very important. You should never follow somebody in logic, man. If you do that, you're stereotyping and somebody can replace you one day. Therefore, if anybody says, I'm teaching you logic, it's wrong. I'm only teaching you concepts to apply. Take the examples as a support. Sit for hours together and think, can I do this in some other way? That's technically very important. In a classroom, if we can see something like this, that the same situation can be answered in two ways. Now, I think industrially there can be much lot of difference. Second, I have written one query with 120 lines and I have written one query with only 26 lines. Both are giving the same result or not? So, which one you think it's qualitative, the first one or second one? Be careful. Okay? In Oracle, you should not take such decision. More lines, less quality, less lines, more quality. The fact is, I don't want to disturb you at this level itself. The fact, seriously we speak, the second one is very less in quality when compared to the first one. First is better in quality. It uses very less amount of memory to execute when compared with the second one. In the upcoming classes, I'll talk about the performance, construction, all these things. Let me not tell you, but just trust me at this level. Second, before we can leave, every problem has a solution or it doesn't have a solution. It has a solution. So one problem has only one solution or many solutions now. So first remove that from your brain. Okay, that's where your problem starts now. Every problem has a solution is correct. One problem has many solutions, that only will kill you always. One problem always has only one solution. It has many approaches. Know the difference between a solution and an approach. It's not exaggeration, I'll tell you. Out of every 10 people will be struggling to understand that difference throughout their life. Now we got the difference too early, I can say now. Now put your efforts properly to practice Oracle. Now I don't think I need to tell you why you should practice a skill seriously now. Day by day we will be adding them. But I think this is the correct area where we can at least come to one realization where the difference arises when we seriously start practicing. Time is in your hands, not in my hands. But after I leave you at 10, next day morning by 9 o'clock what you have done, I will not ask you. But I will do my job from 9 to 10. So, start stimulating yourself. Even now we have not started, think seriously to start. Why? Because this density will increase but it will never decrease us. Finally, one agenda, when your brain looks suitable to industry, that day I will leave you. Sir, when you will feel like that? In 2025 I will feel. Till then I will continue this class, you don't worry now, okay? Because once you came inside, leaving you is my job. So, sir, I thought it's only so many number of days of class. See, you taught 45 days Oracle. 46th day, you please stop coming. Your course is completed. Even if one person is coming, I'll continue my course. Why? Because I will decide when you should leave to the industry. Because don't fall into that crisis. You get your job, you lose your job, you get your job, you lose your job. That recursion is not good. You take your job, you be in the job. The day when you want to leave the job, then only you should leave the job. The day when you keep papers in the industry saying that I'm resigning, the industry should fall on your feet. It's not that you should fall on the feet of the industry saying that, please mujhe mat nikalo. Don't do that, okay? I think already 80% are doing that only. At least I will be happy if you're not on that 80% side. When you keep the papers and you say, I am leaving your company, your industry should fall on your feet. Vice President level guy should come and sit and negotiate with you. What's your problem? Tell me. Anything, we are ready for it. When this can happen? When you are the prime brain of my company. I should feel that this brain I cannot get from the market once again so easily. Sir, can we become like that? Let us see. Okay, my target is that only. Now, how you adapt it is up to you also. Okay, I cannot go into your brain and work. I can only tell you what you should do. So let's see what's waiting for us in tomorrow's class. We'll get into SQL star plus operators. Thank you very much.